Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play LSD. I'm your host TBC and I've got some exciting news. I recently picked up a PS3, which not only supports LSD, it has a patch that lets you play it online as an MMO. I've imported my save from the PS2, so we haven't lost any progress, as you've seen. We just need to get logged in. I did a bit of tinkering earlier, so we're all set up with an account name. We just need to... Yeah, we're logged in! Alright, let's go. So, of course I was lying when I talked about day 255 being the last day in the game. Kind of my little joke to you guys about how I still count in 8-bit because due to my stubborn refusal to change my username, I am CPC Gamer. Anything? Alright, I'm on to you, game. You're gonna have to give in sooner or later. So yeah, the MMO side of things. It draws inspiration from the Soul series of all things. If somebody else is playing the same area at the same time as you, you'll sometimes see a little flash of them so you can see what they're doing. And you can pick an avatar from pretty much every human-sized model on the disc. And I picked a little dog thing. I'll see if I can put it in a little picture to one side. Now you can't pick the grey man, obviously, because that would change the game into a hilarious griefing engine. But yeah, it's a pretty fun little thing. Although I am at a disadvantage, because it is currently 9:42 in the AM, and nobody is online. Also, it's a 16-year-old PlayStation game, not the most popular thing, so I don't know if I'm going to see anyone. I mean, I hope I do, because it's a super neat addition to this game so late in its life. But I'm not going to keep hyping it up, because knowing this game, I'm going to talk and talk and talk about it. Never going to happen. So let's enjoy this music, I guess. It makes sense the Violence District has the music that sets your teeth on edge. I'm gonna go check the car park again. There was a corpse there last time. I should probably stop telling you guys what happened on the last episode and concentrate on doing stuff in this episode. CPC Sister the First keeps talking about that. She hates books that spend time recapping what happened in the previous installment. Like, if you were paying attention, you'd know. If you were a fan, you'd know. And my version of that, I hate the previously on clips on TV shows. Like, I'm sitting here watching the entirety of Dexter in one go, Love Film. I know exactly what happened previously on. Oh, and Love Film is the English version of Netflix, by the way. It's basically exactly the same. Like, you just watch as much as you like for a paid service, except half the shows are arbitrarily locked out as vengeance for the colonies. Also, it's all in proper English. So it's like, do you want to watch another episode, Squire? It's a cracker. Got some rare good recommendations and all. Basically, every English appliance can talk to you, and they all sound like a Dickensian chimney sweep. England is a very whimsical place, and it can be a little disorienting for newcomers. Especially when they all stop working at 4 o'clock for a cup of tea. Anything? I guess it's because my PSN account is Japanese. Like, the game's running on JST rather than GMT, so it thinks it's tea time, so none of the actors are going to do anything. That's my justification, and I'm going to stick with it. Hey there, you look super spooky. Or like something out of Jet Set Radio. Wonder if graffiti art has a very specific style. And that's not to say that it all looks the same or it's bad or anything, because I've seen some beautiful graffiti art, but like if you look at oil paintings, for example, you've got the Impressionists, Cubists, Abstract, all of that. It's all different, but you look at graffiti art and you go, yeah, that sure is graffiti art. I mean, the medium in which the art is created will probably give you some indication that it's graffiti art, plus the fact that it's on a wall in the street, but you know, this sentence has a logical conclusion. I'm just gonna step aside, let you go past. Man, it's crazy how well they managed to capture my daily commute in this game. I wasn't lying when I said Crazy Taxi 3 was an accurate model of me driving. Actually, that's a lie. I don't drive. I don't need to. Everywhere I go has good public transportation routes, or it's within walking distance. everything is within walking distance if you have enough time. Ooh! Now I was going to throw myself off the edge of the map, but I think I'm going to go take a look at the tree in the basin. Seems like a much more interesting premise. I don't know why, but I'm always fascinated with things being lower than they ought to be. Like towns and cities beneath sea level, for example. Good one. Not too far from my last apartment, there was a little kid's playground beside a river, but the whole thing is in a basin, so whenever it rains, the whole thing submerges. And sadly, the water is horribly murky, so you can't see the structures when they're underwater. I'd love to be able to see it. But I don't know why exactly, because it's just a slide and a swing set, but it would look so much cooler for being underwater. And I always liked the marine biology books when I was younger for much the same reason. Like getting to see a cross-section of an immense portion of the ocean. Amazing. And thanks for waking me up, game, because I was about to start talking about how underwater stuff is great. But on the other hand, one of the most terrifying things in the world is kelp. I really don't want to talk about kelp anymore. So let's talk about this. We're all signed in from the previous night's dream, so we don't need to do it again. We can just dive right into the world of LSD. Pick the best one, so what's it going to be? You're stuck in the new world of LSD. Or Kyoto. We are stuck in Kyoto. Actually, we're not stuck here, either, because we can leave whenever we like. So none of that sentence made any sense. You're a big snowman liar, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Why isn't Q in more things? He was awesome. And they go and pretend he never existed. Although with that said, I generally gravitate towards the odd characters in games where I get to pick my party, like Q, or Faust, or Highway Star. Although admittedly that last one wasn't the most obvious one, but give yourself 15 points if you know what she's from. Because I know her as being from a stupid game that I bought with the intention of LPing it, on account of how bad it is, but I got it and it's unsalvageably bad. I have way too many of those. That is some sensational depth perception you got working for you, game. Well done. Anyway, some of the games that I bought have worked out. I'm so happy I got to use Taxi Rider in a recent series, because that was dreadful. And once again, I'm in this little corner facing the wall. This is one of the creepiest things to me, finding someone just standing in a corner staring at the wall. CPC Sister the First is to blame. Our parents once told her to stand in the corner and think about what she'd done, but she leant with her head against the wall and then fell asleep. And she stood there for about an hour before anyone noticed. It was really creepy. It doesn't help that it's a pretty basic glitch behavior, too. NPCs just running to the corner and standing there waiting for something that will never happen. I mean, I know that I've mentioned this one a couple times before, and I know that I'll do it again. One of the scariest things is seeing video game characters moving when they shouldn't. Like when a game's paused, or when the game otherwise dictates they should remain still. Skyrim's got a good one of those. You can put mannequins in your house, but the game doesn't recognize them as mannequins, and it gives them functional tracking, so they walk off their stands and silently follow you around the house. I've had nightmares about that sort of thing. Not mannequins, necessarily. The woman without a face is the usual monster of choice. I mean, I was joking about her in that one LSD video, but I tend to joke about stuff that terrifies me so that it doesn't terrify me so often. Huh. I was wondering what's going on here, and that guy is based on your proximity. I thought you could sneak up on him or something like that. Oh, and you can see him from this side. Did something just crash in the docks? I heard the weird bouncing sound. Oh, sorry sir, I'll just let you pop back into existence. Wait, what? Is it based off your line of sight, not general proximity? Looks like it is. And back. Yes, it is! How in the world does this make any degree of sense? Game, you continue to be a misery wrapped in an enema, and I don't understand your conundrums. I understand your tricks, I hold up a hoop and you jump through it, but that's about the long and short of the experience. Oh, damn, the house is on fire. I gotta get out of here as fast as I can, stopping only to shut down alien electronics and safely dismount all USB drives. Because I have my stuff on there. Or, you know, check for the guy in the room. That's the kind of thing I do in a fire. I stay put and get everyone else out first. I wonder what the deal is with that. Because depending on who you speak to, it's either a strong desire to help, or a strong desire to self-destruct. I mean, they're both possible. I like to think it's the helping side, but psychology says a lot of the desire to self-destruct manifests subconsciously, and by its very definition, I can't do anything to do stuff with my subconscious. I can come over here and take a look at this guy, though. Jaunty Ox, what are you doing over here? You are not meant to have pathing over here. And you're also meant to have a carriage with you, which I always imagine carrying tea chests. Did I ever say that? I don't remember. I guess it doesn't matter anymore. It's what I get for standing there. I'm back in Kyoto. Okay, and I'll admit it. I thought I was floating, like I sometimes do in the Violence District, but it turns out I'm on the bridge. Ah, well. Oh, and the other half of Kyoto joins us. Thank you, game. It reminds me of... Oh, there's this one point in the Midnight Club game my sister got for me. There's a car that drives faster than the game can load. So if you find a nice long straight, you can keep going, drive faster than the loading buffer, and just fall through the floor. It is really, really trippy. Again, going back to something I said earlier on, it's always trippy when a game behaves outside its expected boundaries like that. Especially when the programmers plan for it, like you find a hidden message or something. Like there's one of the Dizzy games, I forget which. It has a hidden room that you can't get to unless you use the room select code, and then choose a specific room outside the range available in-game. Like, it's just a plain square room filled with water, and there's a sign that says, "Congratulations on finding the room, by your way, you're not getting out again." I want to say the cheat code was Trowbridge, the place where the game was made. Anyways, the building's still on fire, so let's hurry out. Hiding on the roof probably isn't going to do anything. I'm also not going to meet anyone while I'm up there. And I'm a little let down that I've not seen any ghosts yet, but I guess it's the issues with the game setup and my current playtime, you know? By which I mean the current time of day, rather than the, like, 8 or 9 hours I spent playing this to get to the point that I'm at now. Which appears to be the same setup as video number 2. How's that work out? I mean, this is one issue with playing a legitimate copy of the game on an actual console. Like, if I were emulating, I could just drop save states and effectively play the game in one go, rather than several strings broken up via recording sessions and so on. Still, this is my lot in life, and I'm too far into this to turn back now. But whatever, it's cool, it's all working, and as a friend of mine in the army says, if it looks stupid, but it works, it's not stupid. Admittedly, he was probably talking about, like, sniping, and not the actual video game LSD, but, whatever, it's all good. Nice strobing cloud, that looked super great. I'm guessing you were just outside the draw distance, but probably not, because you were pretty close. Huh. And there is a reason that I went down that pit, but I can't remember why. It shouldn't do me any good, landing in the true neutral ending, but I'm sure I had good intentions, and it's the thought that counts. But only to an extent, because I've never actually had anyone legitimately say, "Ah, well, it's the thought that counts." It's always, "You did this job wrong," or "You messed up that meal," or "This marriage is killing the both of us." Silly, really. I'm lying about one of those, but I'll leave it up to you to decide which one I meant, because, well, right now the fire is out, so I'm gonna check for the guy in the room and head out. That sounds like it's wrong somehow. I don't know how. It's like the phrase cutting something together. That doesn't make sense. You cut things apart, not together. Maybe I'm using the phrase wrong myself. I mean, I have known to say words wrong sometimes. sometimes. Like the last time was 3:26 in the afternoon, June 10th, 1990. So it's been a while. I might be overdue. I didn't quite mean to link with that wall, but it'll do me. That's a core mechanic in this game. On occasion, I've heard it advances things, but I don't really know. Is the entirety of this soundtrack comprised of noises made with the mouth? Like, I hear two kinds of coughing, some laughter, one kind of popping, and that cute little audio sample I love that's just somebody going boing into a microphone. That's pretty weird. It's no Smooth McGroove, I tell you what. Probably for the best, though, because whenever I watch Smooth's videos, I feel like he's apologizing to me. Take a look at the Harmony face. It's usually got that sad, it's not you, it's me look, and that just drops my stomach. Oh, that is some sensational work, Alpha Channel. I'm not really meant to see through that shrubbery, am I? No, I don't think I am. I kind of get the feeling this game wasn't really beta tested, and without some kind of manual, I've no idea, so I'm going to assume yes. That's why we can't see through the ivy. I'm going to get away from you! Exit left! I'm also ignoring the fact that I looked over to my recording time, and that's why I ran headfirst into a wall and jumped out of the map into entirely the wrong location. Nice work, Andy. Did I just step off something? It wasn't by much, but it looks like I just dropped a little, like stepping off your porch step or whatever. Okay, cool, whatever. Time to start a corpse party. Is that a band name? It sounds like it should be if Corpse Kicker isn't. Like, Corpse Kicker would have those weird Cookie Monster vocals, but Corpse Party would be a sensational fusion of emo and swing. But don't tell me you... Whoa, it's you! Have you come to listen to Corpse Kicker with me? I particularly like their first album, Satan's Elbow and Other Body Parts. Also, before I get back to the game, I think I noticed something. I think I noticed the music skipping a little bit before Grey Bloke showed up. Now, I'm going to stick around for a bit, see if he shows up again. And if he does, we'll have to take a listen to see if the music skips again. You might not notice on account of me talking, but I'll notice, and I'll tell you what's up. Trust me, I'm not lying to you. And speaking of music and kick-ass band names, and... that was a good link. One of my favorite things is to... Okay, there! There it is. Did you hear that? Probably not. The music stuttered just before he showed up. Best guess, the game music's dropping out for a second while it loads the behaviors for the Grey Man. If I had to guess. It could just as easily be a server-side issue. But this is another instance of me looking into a game and working stuff out based on the technical side of things when I really shouldn't. My favourite one of those, my sister worked out something in the Harvest Moon game on PlayStation. In that game you could whistle for your dog, and if it was on the same map, it would bark and come to you. And CPC Sister the First worked out that the sound file for the dog bark was in the middle of the disc, so the read head would zip back and forth if it was required. So you could call for your dog and immediately know if it was on the map, or if you had to move to another map and try again. And me, I played the same game and tried to work out if I'd given enough stuff to Potpourri to make marriage fall out of her, because corsets are hot. I also tried to work out who glued a fedora to my head, because apparently fedoramancy was already a problem back in the day. Like those halcyon days of 2002, before I worked out that actively trying to alienate people was a pretty stupid way of making friends. Oh god, I go over that. Jeez. I'm playing a video game! I'm gonna go see if I can link with the gunner again, because I did last time. So I went to the ground floor of the machine shop, so let's... go. I only just noticed the victim drops to the floor after he gets shot. That's... kind of tragic. It makes things even worse. And it ties back to the immediacy of death thing that I was talking about earlier. Earlier for me, like a week ago for you. So... you know, I didn't end up in the ground floor of the machine room, but I did end up in the ground, eh? Eh? Ah, whatever, you know that was funny. Although the game disagrees. Fine. So, yes, I'm going to finish up. Join us next time for some more LSD, and until next time, goodbye!